If you guys are looking for fast, cheap, reliable MUT coins, check out my sponsor at MMOXP.com and use discount code MONEYSHOT to get 5% off your order. Link in the description below.
The champ is here!
Welcome back, Money Team. This is Mad Money Shot, sniffing up the college cheese and Madden cheese as always. Over the last 2 days, we got information saying that there were some server maintenance being done on both college football and Madden 25, but there were no patch notes for either. There was nothing released to the audience or to anybody to be able to just look at and see what they fixed. But I have noticed a few changes that I'm going to go over in this video that I just noticed from playing the game or from being in the game. I don't know whether they were updated this time or the last time, because a lot of updates have been going through without any patch notes being put out. But I'm going to speculate on some of those things, as well as there was a full update to Madden's player ratings for the Super Bowl, which I'm going to go over as well. But before I do, as always, if you guys want to see more videos like this, please make sure to be a subscriber, hit the like button, let me know in the comment section. If you guys need more help or more money plays, you can download any of my ebooks instantly, simply by clicking links in the description or the top pinned comment. Now, as far as the communications that we did get, we've been getting a lot over the last month or so from both accounts when it comes to Madden, NFL Direct, or College Football Direct, saying that they're doing the same thing, server maintenance 6 a.m. It's always the same message. Sometimes they say at the end, though, that they're going to give us information when it's done, and none of these over the last month or so, it feels like they've really done that. I think the last time we got patch notes for either of these games is going on over a month now, although there was a small patch from EA not too long ago where they put a player who had passed away into the game, and that was probably like the biggest update that we've had. It's to the point where it really feels like EA in particular has moved on to the next game. I don't expect too many more updates. I don't expect too much more support when it comes to either one of these games, because at the moment they're both pretty much underperforming, especially when it comes to Madden. Madden is really underperforming. I tried to put out some Madden videos this week and they performed horribly, so of course I'm going to go back to college football because I got to feed my family, and that's just the reality of what I'm doing. You know what I mean? I'm not going to keep, I enjoy Madden okay, but to be truthful, all Madden players over the last decade have been dying for a second option, a different option, to get away from Madden and all their nonsense. And that's why I think they're doing so many updates right now, or trying to do so many quiet updates, because I feel like they're trying to fix a lot of issues so that they can bring them out as new things in the game. I think right now they're just kind of testing stuff to see how that stuff works out, and then later on in next year's Madden, next year's college football, we'll see the results of these tests. So that brings me to some things that like I said, I noticed some of the bigger issues that still aren't being addressed. There's a lot of like franchise bugs when it comes to Madden. There's a lot of playbook issues when it comes to Madden, which I'm going to go over. And one of my biggest ones in College Football 25 is they still haven't fixed the 56 player glitch, which is an absolutely insane glitch that I can't believe that they can't figure out. Where essentially, if you put in a player who is injured and you put him, if you go into a game and put him back into the starting lineup, they all get the same player model, they all get the same number 56. So you can put in, like, if you put in an entire team of backup players, you should have 11 guys running around with all number 56, which is absolutely crazy. I think it only happens if they're injured. I'm not really sure, but I know that that's typically the issue. So that's something which I can't believe they haven't fixed yet, or they haven't addressed better. I've said since the beginning of the year that the playbook issue, where they essentially came out and said that they're not going to allow people to have their custom playbooks or switch team playbooks when it comes to College Football 25. I don't think that's something that they planned for. I think that's something that they can't figure out how to do. Because in Madden, and I've been saying this all year, one of the main reasons I don't play Madden is because for whatever reason there's been glitches as far as picking playbooks all year. Now I know that they instituted halfway through the season custom playbooks where you could actually put that into an online game, which they didn't allow at the beginning of the year, which they did update. But there's some bigger issue going on there, because if I go into a game in the beginning of the year, if I went into a game and I selected my favorite team playbooks in the settings, I would get instead of, like, I typically try to pick Kansas City's offense and the Raiders defense. Those are my two favorites. I, for some reason, ended up getting a lot of Arizona playbooks all the time, at the same time, over and over, which is the first playbook in the order is Arizona. So I'm thinking that's why. And now the issue I'm having is I found a workaround to fix that, even though they haven't really discussed that much. And now it seems like they tried to fix it, but they actually made it worse, because now, for whatever reason, every time I go into a game, it gives me whatever team I'm using, which is typically the Eagles, which is the reason that I made my last 2 videos this week in Madden about the Eagles' offense and defense, is because I had to find a way to use those playbooks since I couldn't figure out a way to get another. Now, I know somebody told me that I can just use a custom playbook, but that doesn't really solve the issue. So at the end of the day, it's like there's still a lot of issues when it comes to these games, and it feels like they're trying to fix them, but it also feels like they can't figure it out because this is still a lot. There's still a lot of legacy coding issues, even though this is even when it comes to college football, there's still a lot of issues that are being brought over from previous models of the game, because it's not like they've made a new Madden. This is basically the same engine that they're reusing for like the last, however long they've been using it, and it still has a lot of the same problems. So I don't know if we're ever going to get updates on these things, because it feels like they're trying to fix a lot of things before the next game comes out, because I think it's to the point now where they're realizing that they're getting shot in the foot by their poor performance. I mean, there's just, next year when Grand Theft Auto comes out, games like this are going to be just completely off the map for several months, if not longer. I mean, that's going to be like a global event that's going to completely kick horribly made games asses for a long time and make them very poor as far as how they're going to be, being played and stuff like that. I think the whole world's going to be playing Grand Theft Auto for several months, and I think EA knows that, so they got to bring it. They got to fix these problems, and they got to make this game a little bit better, because it's the failures in these game modes that really makes these games impossible to stick with. I mean, nobody's playing franchise mode. Nobody's playing, because of all the bugs and all the glitches. Nobody's playing dynasty modes right now. Those are the things that keep people invested and keep people interested, while they're just continuously putting all their efforts into Mutt and Cut, which doesn't really have a community base because you're in your own team. It's a little different when you're in a community with 30 other people or however many other people, and you're, to the point where it's like you're in a group and they'll continuously draw you back. Where in this scenario, it's like there's nothing really continuously drawing you back other than the gameplay, and you can't even get that right. I mean, I enjoy playing just random quick games against people because that's my favorite mode, because it's the quickest and the easiest, and you can't even get that right. I can't even pick whatever playbook I want, and it's just absolutely ridiculous, which is something that they, these are all things that sound small, but it's so hard for them for some reason I just can't understand. So that's all I really have on that. It was really more of a rant, but I also wanted to go over the player ratings updates that came out after the Super Bowl, which I got to be honest, I'm still pretty disappointed in, but there's some really interesting ones here. So I'm going to go ahead and get into them. Obviously, this is really just only the Eagles and the Chiefs, or at least it should be, but there's actually a lot of other players that got updates based off of what happened in the Super Bowl. The highest rated player that got an update didn't even fucking play in the playoffs, and that's Joe Burrow, who got a +1. And the reason he got a +1 is because they wanted to basically tell the entire world that he's better than Patrick Mahomes, because Patrick Mahomes was a 97 before the Super Bowl, played so bad that they gave him a -2. He's down to a 95. So they really only gave Joe Burrow a +1 so they could say definitively in their game that they feel that Joe Burrow is better. And I think Joe Burrow, I mean, honestly, that's not really hard to swallow, but Joe Burrow I don't think he's the highest rated quarterback, because I still feel like we'll probably have Josh Allen's at 98 and Lamar Jackson's at 99. So Patrick Mahomes is now the 4th highest rated player as far as quarterbacks in the game, after having a very subpar year and an atrocious Super Bowl, one of the worst ever. He was being compared to like guys that, I don't know, before the Eagles pulled the backups, that was just an absolutely terrible performance by Patrick Mahomes, so I can't argue with that. But the one thing that I can argue with is, why did Saquon Barkley not get a +1 up to a 99? Why did they hate this man so much? The guy literally had the greatest season a running back has ever had. 2,500 yards, nobody's ever done that. He has the most yards from scrimmage of a player ever. He also won the Super Bowl Offensive Player of the Year. I mean, you could have fully validated putting him at a 99 without a problem. There's only, not only that, but why is Travis Kelce still a 99? Did he play good in that game? Did nobody on the Chiefs play good in that game other than Worthy? So why is Travis Kelce not dropping down? It's because of the Taylor Swift connection. He didn't have a 99 overall year. He didn't even break 1,000 yards. The first time he hasn't done that in a long time. So these ratings are still absolute garbage, but I want to go over them because they're absolute garbage. I want to keep pointing out how garbage this game is. So either way, Patrick Mahomes, he took the brunt of that, even though Travis Kelce didn't do nothing. He looked slow and old, and they definitely paid a lot of attention to him in coverage. But it's just crazy that Mahomes took so many hits this year to go down. But Travis Kelce is just safe. There's nothing's going to drop that dude's rating. So moving down the line here a little bit, we did have, the next guy I wanted to check out, obviously, was Jalen Hurts, who's a guy that I've been saying for a while should be much higher rated. They did put him up, but they only gave him a 1-point boost. The guy won Super Bowl MVP and, had a good game. I mean, he was the MVP of the Super Bowl, still only got a +1, which once again, they wanted to affect the order because I guess they had, they had the quarterback from the Chargers rated 1 point higher than him, Justin Herbert. And they had to drop him just so they could clarify that one guy wins all the time and one guy wins absolutely fucking nothing, which is Justin Herbert's entire career wrapped up. That guy doesn't win shit. He's barely above the Mendoza line. Like, I think he's like barely above 500. So I guess they all thought he was better until Hurts won the Super Bowl. So now they had to drop him down a point and put Hurts up a point. Once again, this whole thing is just like they're just trying to like show what the order is, but they really did do a lot of changes here. Another one like Quinyon Mitchell. I know he didn't have any interception or nothing like that, but the dude, the entire Eagles defense was locking down. You could have gave the entire defense a +1. The coverage guys, the guys that got all the sacks. Isaiah Pacheco went down -1. He really didn't do anything since his injury, although they only really dropped his awareness. I don't think his awareness is the problem. I think it was lingering effects of the injury that he had, but apparently he went down -5 in awareness. Which I really doubt makes any sense. I mean, he didn't get stupider. Milton Williams went up +2. Big game. Going to get paid. Sack fumble was probably the biggest play of the night for him. He's up to an 83 now. Like I said, I'm going real deep on the chart here just to see Eagles and Chiefs players for the most part, because I don't think only the quarterbacks are going to get moved around based on the fact that that's something that they focus on more than anything. But just to show you how embarrassing this is, Cooper DeJean had a pick six, his first interception ever in the Super Bowl. Could have won MVP based on that, because that basically put the game away. They were up 10-0. Everybody was talking about how the Chiefs got to be down 10 points before they start playing. And then he basically iced the game at 17-0, and he doesn't get a plus anything. So, just another horrible update by Madden. This has just been a horrible year for Madden in general, and I just wanted to bury them on their last update because their ratings have sucked all year. They've been, it's just been nonsense all year. It's been one of the worst years in Madden history, and I just want to end the video on that. So I'm going to end the video there. If you guys want to see more update videos like this as they come out, please make sure to be a subscriber, hit the like button, let me know in the comment section. Other than that, thanks for watching, man. My shit out. Need more help or just want to show your support? Then head over to my Patreon and join my team, where you can get exclusive content like ebooks and bonus plays, as well as early access to my vids and more. Link in the description below.